Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Finance Magnets webinar. I'm Nicole, and I'll be your host for today's session. Joining us is Morgan Williams, Product Director at B2CORE. Morgan, it's really great to have you here. Please feel free
Thank you.
to get started.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to talking about B2CORE's IB module today. I'll happily just jump into the slides and start going. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Morgan, Product Director at B2CORE. Today's session, I'm going to be talking about how we can turn your IB network into, I suppose, a scalable revenue generating engine for your brokerage, and how and why B2CORE is built just to help you do that in an increasingly competitive market. So whether you're just building out your IB program or looking to grow an existing one, this session today will bring some practical insights to help you turn your partner network into a real growth driver for your brokerage. So here's what we're going to be covering today. First up, we'll take a look at what is an IB program and how it works. So we'll start by breaking down exactly what an IB is and why the IB model is so effective. And then we're going to dive into what makes B2CORE's IB technology so important. So we'll walk through some of the biggest challenges that brokers face when trying to scale their IB programs. And then we'll take a look at some of the features and benefits of the B2CORE IB module. So for example, how our IB module helps you manage, track, and reward IBs at scale. And I've also got a case study as well. So I'll share how one of our customers transformed a struggling IB program with B2CORE and grew the network significantly in just a few months. And I think that's a great example of what's possible when you've got the right tools in place. And of course, at the end, there'll be a Q&A as well. So I guess if you've got any questions, pop them into Zoom and we'll try to get to them at the end. So that's the brief overview of what we're going to talk about. But before we dive into the platform itself, let's just take a breather to talk about why IB programs are more important than ever. So we all know that the trading industry is getting more competitive. It's more competitive than it's ever been. And let's face it, the days of organic growth is just not cutting it anymore. So the reality is that it's getting more expensive for brokers to acquire new clients. And in many cases these days, you're paying more but getting less than what you would before. And the competition is fierce. So every broker is targeting like similar audiences, and standing out in what is a crowded market is tough. And I think importantly, and this is an important point, relying solely on paid marketing limits your growth to your budget, not your true potential. And that's exactly what an IB program can help you solve. So rather than relying entirely on traditional marketing, brokers can leverage trusted individuals, influencers, community leaders in that space to drive growth. You can essentially turn your IBs into an extension of your sales team. So that covers that.
Morgan, I do have a question right here about how brokerages typically find and recruit IBs, since we're...
Yeah, cool. Good question. So I suppose most brokerages recruit IBs through I guess a mix of outreach, word of mouth. I suppose some of the best IBs that brokers can have come from their existing clients who already trust the platform that they're using and want to refer others. So there's many ways, right? I guess brokers also attend industry events where they can build those partnerships with local influencers, etc. But I think that the key here is offering the right tools and incentives to your IBs. If your IB program is transparent, easy to use, and rewarding, it's going to naturally attract the right partners. So yeah, there's many ways. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. So let's start with the basics then. What is an IB, and why are they such a powerful growth driver for brokerages? So at its core, an IB is someone who refers traders and earns a commission based on that trader's ongoing activity. But IBs do more than just make intros to your brokerage. They build trust. So, for example, they often provide ongoing support and education to their networks, which means that they're not just bringing in one-time signups into your brokerage. They're helping traders stay active, informed, and loyal to you. And so there's three main kind of benefits that they bring. So first, it would be like scale. They bring scalable client acquisition. Unlike traditional marketing, they're not just casting a wide net and hoping to bring in traders. They're actually bringing in high quality traders. Secondly, it's a cost effective way to grow. So instead of just throwing money at ads and hoping for the best, you're only paying IBs based on the actual trading volume that the networks bring in, which means your marketing budget is directly tied to results, not just leads. And thirdly, and this is it's a key one. IBs give you local reach, which is something that can be quite hard to achieve with traditional marketing. So many IB partners work in specific regions or communities, which open doors to markets that can be tough to crack with like traditional campaigns. So I suppose in short, IBs can help you grow faster, spend smarter, and reach harder to access communities than others. But there's a catch, right? IB programs won't work if IBs don't feel supported, and that's where most programs fall short.
With all the challenges, what are the biggest challenges brokers face when growing their IB networks?
Yeah, that's a good segue for the next slide, and specifically talking about how they can effectively scale an IB program as well. So I'll be covering that next. So running an IB program isn't always smooth sailing. A lot of brokers that I've spoken to, they've sometimes previously jumped into IB partnerships without a proper system in place. So before they know it, things have spiraled out of control for them. And so there's some things that kind of hold back the growth of brokers. So I'll just touch on some of those points in here, which you can see some of this on the slide as well. So whilst most brokers have moved past spreadsheets as their way to do reconciliations, etc., a surprising number still rely partially on manually processes to track IB activity. So maybe it's like a legacy system that they're using, or maybe it's just legacy processes, just how things have evolved in that brokerage over time. But the problem is that once the IB network starts growing, these manual touch points just create friction in the network, and these touch points become like a serious bottleneck for the brokerage and the IBs. And that kind of leads to things like miscalculations, mistrades, delayed payouts. And it only takes a few of those to happen for your IB networks to start losing trust in your brokerage. And then secondly, IBs want to know like three key things, and this is really important for them. As an IB, I want to know how many traders have I referred, how much commission have I earned, and really importantly, when am I getting paid? And so if they don't have instant, transparent access to those answers, they're going to go somewhere else that can give them that information when they need it. And then it's one thing to manage a small group of IBs with some of these manual processes, like 10 or 20 maybe, but what happens when your network grows to hundreds or even thousands? So without the right systems in place, and especially in like multi-tier commission structures, that kind of sub-IB tracking can really, that's where it can spiral out of control. And this is where many brokers can also hit a growth ceiling. And it's not because they can't find more IBs to help them grow, it's because their own systems can't support that growth at scale. And so what happens then? We have like delayed payouts, this poor visibility and lack of transparency, and some of these manual processes. But the fact is that IBs leave. They're just going to switch to another broker that makes them feel more supported, more valued, and I suppose more control of the business. So this is where B2CORE's IB module comes in, of course. The way that brokers avoid those problems isn't just by throwing more staff at the problem. They switch to a system that's built for automation designed to scale. And that's what we do with B2CORE IB. So first up, there's no need for manual reconciliations with spreadsheets. Every referral, every trade, every commission, every rebate is calculated and tracked in real time. So the moment that the trader places an order, the system calculates the commission and assigns it instantly to the right one. So the human error is removed, which means no more disputes, no more delayed payouts. So your IBs are paid correctly, on time, every time, which goes obviously a long way in building that trust and credibility with the IB. All our IBs get rich dashboards to help them track their activity. So keeping IBs informed and engaged helps them understand their performance as well. And the third point is that we provide not just multi-tier, but we have like an unlimited multi-tier system in place. So there's no flat IB setup here. So we have no limits to the growth. So this means your top performing IBs can recruit sub IBs who can create sub IBs who can create sub IBs, and so on and so on and so on. And of course, you don't have to manually manage any of it. The system handles all of that, all the relationships, all the commission splits, and tracking automatically. And then the fourth point with B2CORE IB is a result of the investment that we've made in the platform over the years. So we've made huge investments in our technology stack to make sure that B2CORE performs at scale. So whether you have 10 IBs or 10,000, our system just works. So there's no need to hire extra admin staff or build custom tools. You can grow your IB network as big as you want, really, without increasing your operational overhead. So in short, we can turn IB management from what's essentially a support burden into a fully automated, scalable growth machine for your brokerage, one that grows with you, not against you. And I'd say that the best IB programs aren't just managed; they're built to scale, and B2CORE gives brokers the technology to make that happen.
Morgan, I had another question here. Some people confuse IBs with affiliates. What's the key difference, and which solution should brokers focus on partnering with?
Yeah, cool. So like we typically see brokerages using a combination of both methods, and each have their own benefits. And actually, we can get into this here, right? So with affiliates, it's probably something that you're all kind of used to. Most brokerages are familiar with an affiliate strategy. The model's really simple. Brokers pay affiliates to drive traffic and generate signups, which is, can be great for driving in volume into your brokerage. You can get a lot of signups very quickly, but the challenge is that whilst affiliate programs can bring in huge numbers, they don't always bring in long-term value. So an affiliate isn't necessarily, isn't going to kind of invest any time in making sure that that trader knows how to trade. So unlike affiliates who focus on one-time referrals, IBs do a lot more, than just drive traffic. They're building the relationships with the traders. So they spend time educating and supporting their clients. They help them navigate the trading platforms, help them understand the market and learn how to trade with confidence. And that active management of their network helps them maintain long-term relationships with those traders. That leads to ongoing engagement. And as we touched upon, I guess the multi-tier approach, their traders might then go on to be IBs themselves with their own network. So it's an exponential kind of uh, growth curve that happens there. You know, IBs are directly invested in the trader's success. So the more those traders trade, the more the IB earns, which is what makes IBs really valuable to your brokerage. And just touching on that exponential growth, you know, affiliate brokers tend to grow in a straight line versus the exponential growth of an IB, and that's huge for a brokerage. So a simple way of thinking about it is that an affiliate is just paid advertising. You're going to put money in, you're going to get some signups out, and you can keep doing that all day as long as you've got the money to do that. Whereas an IB program, it's more like building a very strong sales or business development team. It's going to grow organically over time and keep compounding in value as well. So in terms of what's better, or an affiliate or an IB, it is going to depend on the goals of the brokerage, and as I said earlier, most brokers do combine both, and that does make sense. But for long-term growth and sustainable growth, a strong IB network is probably always going to outperform an affiliate program.
That's very clear. Thank you. Are there any specific compliance or regulatory challenges that are unique to IB programs versus affiliate programs?
Yeah. So, I guess whilst both models involve bringing referrals into the brokerage, an IB can carry more regulatory scrutiny, I suppose, especially if they're providing support or guidance to traders. So depending on the region that they're operating, they might be required to register or hold specific licenses, like FINRA, for example. But that's why it's important to have features like built-in KYC, the clear tracking and compliant onboarding process, like we provide with B2CORE. And again, our platform makes it easy for brokerages and IBs to stay aligned with those local requirements while supporting a global IB network. Cool. So what I wanted to start showing then is a kind of typical user journey through B2CORE. So of course, this is quite high level, but it kind of just demonstrates the various steps that an IB's client would need to go through. So the first step here, of course, in any IB operation, is getting a trader signed up, and we kind of make this effortless for you. So every IB gets a unique referral code, or a link or QR code, ensuring that new traders who come in are automatically assigned to the correct IB. So that eliminates any confusion about which IB referred which trader, which ensures accuracy from day one and underpins everything that we do. So then once a trader registers, they need to go through and complete KYC to fund their account. So if that process is slow or complex, traders are going to drop off before they even place a trade. So again, we've invested a lot in our user experience through the platform, but also we integrate with leading KYC providers as well, which ensures a fast, and again, coming back to the compliance, a compliant verification service. And then deposits, of course, we need these traders to start making deposits so they can start trading. They're processed instantly through our system via one of, we've got hundreds of different payment service provider integrations available in local currencies as well. So the moment a deposit is made, B2CORE automatically links that to the referring IBs, which then ensures that the commissions are tracked properly as well, which brings us on to trading. So now that the traders are verified and funded, they're ready to start trading. And this is where, of course, IBs start making the money. So we've got seamless integrations with like MT4, MT5, C Trader, BT Trader, DX Trade, and other platforms as well. And because we have this seamless integration, we can ensure that all trading activity is automatically recorded and again assigned to the correct IB. And because of this, IBs can then monitor and monitor their own trader performance in real time as well. And talked about it previously. It's this visibility that helps IBs understand their own performance and keep them motivated to grow their network. They're able to start identifying their best performing traders. Moving on then to the rebate calculation and commission processing. This is really powerful. So B2Core automatically calculates rebates and commissions in real time. And that's where we get rid of like manual calculations. So no more manual calculations, no more spreadsheets, just accurate instant commission tracking, which, and this is the great part, payouts happen instantly and automatically as well. So once commissions are calculated, they're credited to the IB accounts immediately. And brokers, you're able to then configure the custom payout schedules, whether that's real time or hourly, daily, or even monthly for some of our larger IB networks. It's all configurable within the system as well. And of course, IBs receive that instant notification when they have got paid, which eliminates the frustrations with payouts being delayed or payout disputes and support requests as well. So fast, reliable payouts ensure that IBs create a stronger, more engaged network here. So this slide here is important because it kind of paints a picture of the whole ecosystem of B2Core. So managing an IB program, it's more than about just tracking referrals and paying commissions. It's about having the correct infrastructure in place to support everything from onboarding to the performance tracking and payouts. So with B2Core, we bring all these critical systems together. Everything that a modern IB network needs is there in one fully integrated ecosystem, which creates a seamless experience for brokers, IBs, and traders. So everything starts with the CRM. It's where the trader journey begins. It's where IBs are connected into the system automatically. So whether it's from registration through to trading, the CRM manages it all. So for example, the client onboarding, the KYC verification, account creation, and live trading. And again, remember, all of that activity is automatically linked and attributed to the correct IB. And the IBs also get their own space within the CRM as well, like the personal cabinet. And this is their own dashboard, I suppose, where they can go in and generate the referral links and promo codes, which we'll talk about shortly. They can access the real-time data to track the referred clients, etc. And yeah, it just gives them the kind of complete visibility and control. So they're always aware about how well they're performing, and importantly for them, how much they're earning as well, and who's earning for them. And then we've got the back office, right? So we've talked about the IB experience. The back office is for the brokerage. It's where the brokerage team gets to work. So it's where you can configure the whole IB program, the commission structures, for example. It's where rebates are calculated automatically. It's where you get the reporting. So that's a really important thing for you there. But brokers don't need to spend time calculating the payouts or chasing down paperwork. B2Core handles all of it behind the scenes. I touched upon the trading platforms and I've seamless integration on the previous slide. And then we have the mobile app. So the mobile app is more important than ever, especially in emerging markets where mobile is everything. And the B2Core mobile app gives IBs and traders full access wherever they are. So with our mobile app, IBs can track commissions and referrals on the go. Traders can deposit, complete the KYC, and start trading from their phones as well. And brokers can kind of oversee the performance of IB networks in real time. It's a full trading and referral experience in your pocket. And for some markets, this is a must-have, not a nice-to-have. Um, so why does it all matter? I think, and this is, you can't overlook this. When you connect the CRM, the personal cabinet, the back office, trading platforms, mobile apps, and our APIs that are available, all of that is under one roof, and you've got a system that just seamlessly works. And we see that some IB programs often fall apart because they're built on top of like a patchwork of legacy systems and outdated processes. But with B2Core, every piece of the puzzle is built to work together. And that's how you can go from running a small manual or heavily manual IB program to a thriving scalable IB ecosystem with B2Core. Yeah.
You mentioned easy and quick access, which we can see from what you mentioned earlier.
Easy
And
and
it's
quick
definitely
access.
a, a big motivator, but how do you keep IBs engaged long term and actually retain them?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. So I guess I talked a bit about um, the importance to the support, the providing the transparency and the growth opportunities for IBs to grow their own networks. I think if IBs feel that they're part of the success of your brokerage and have the tools to scale their own network, they'll stay loyal. But I think you need to also treat your IBs like VIP customers. Yeah, you need to make that effort to get to know your best IBs, build great relationships with them, and then you'll build that long-term relationship. Um, but of course, providing them with the correct reward incentive goes a long way here as well. And I've actually got a slide to start talking about what a good reward structure looks like. So one of the most critical factors in IB retention is having a fair, competitive, and scalable compensation structure. If your IBs aren't rewarded properly, they're going to start looking for other brokers who offer better deals. So at B2Core, we understand that different brokerages do have different needs, and we provide multiple reward models that can be customized to fit your business strategy. So I think there's three things that I've called out that kind of must-haves for an effective IB compensation model. So it needs to be attractive. IBs should feel motivated to actively recruit traders and expand their network. It needs to be flexible. So different IBs have different needs. So your reward system should be adaptable. And then it needs to be scalable as well. So as your IB network grows, your payments need to remain accurate and manageable without extra admin work. And that's why we support multiple IB reward models to give that flexibility to design a system that works for their business. So I'll just touch upon very briefly. I'll touch upon the reward models. I'm not going to go into the details of how the formulas are calculated, but just a high level overview. So each of the models kind of appeals to different IB profiles. So the commission based reward model is probably the most straightforward and widely used that we see. And it's very simple. So every time a trader places a trade, the broker collects a commission, and the percentage of that commission is passed on to the IB. So the more the trader trades, the more the IB earns. It's very, very, very easy to implement and understand, and that's why brokers choose it. And it kind of scales naturally as IBs bring in more active traders. We find that some brokers, particularly those offering like zero commission trading, prefer a lot-based model. So that focuses on total trading volume rather than commission percentages. So IBs earn a fixed amount for each lot traded by the referred clients. And then the third one is the markup model, which is a bit different. So it allows brokers to adjust spreads and share that extra revenue with IB. So in our system, brokers can apply a markup on the spread, and then IBs can receive a portion of that markup revenue. So that model works well for brokers who really want to control their pricing strategy while still rewarding the IBs generously. And then the spread model is very similar to the market model, but instead of an additional spread markup, IBs can earn a percentage of the total spread that the traders pay. So that means that IBs have a direct incentive to bring in traders who execute a high number of trades as their earnings scale with that trading activity. So there's, which reward model should you use? And there is no one size fits all solution, but the key is flexibility and remembering that your IBs need to feel rewarded for the value that they bring to your brokerage.
Morgan, one size doesn't fit all. Have you found that combining different models or implementing a tiered system works best?
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, look, I think many brokers see the best results when they mix reward models or offer tiered structures. For example, newer IBs might start on that fixed commission based model, while top performers might move into a volume based or market model with higher incentives. The ability to offer like tiered systems to gamify the process as well is something that we see quite frequently. So that process gives IB something to aim for. We make it really easy to customize this, so you're able to test what works best for your audience and adjust over time without rebuilding your entire setup. And I think coming back to my previous question as well, and understanding what motivates your IBs is a key thing to do in this part as well, to understand what system might work best. Speak to those IBs, get to know them is what I would recommend there.
Definitely.
Cool. So onto some of the features that we offer then. So we've talked about having the right tools on previous slides, but just spend a little more time on this. It's not just about the commissions, right? We need to kind of give IBs everything to succeed, and that's what we do. So we give IBs everything they need to run their IB program. So what this slide is showing here is firstly I suppose the marketing toolkit that we provide to our IBs. So the toolkit provides IBs with banners and widgets that are just ready to go. There's no design work required on their behalf. So your IBs can simply log into B2CORE, download the promo banners that they want, use them to promote by copying and pasting these into wherever they need to start generating referrals right away. And I touched upon referral links and QR codes as well earlier. Every IB has their own unique referral link that can be offered as a simple link or a QR code. The QR code is really popular, so we've seen it used online and offline. So whether it's on posters or business cards, or even sharing on your mobile phone at a network event. So traders who sign up with either the link or the QR code or the promo banners are instantly assigned to that IB. And from there, of course, everything is tracked in real time. I touched upon it earlier. It's the starting point for us to know exactly how that IB is performing and how their network is performing as well. So, for example, how much trading volume they've generated and commission they've earned, etc. And so when your IBs have tools that work, they're going to work harder for you, which means more revenue for your brokerage. But not every broker is the same. While some on the IB journey are just getting started, others are running at a much more advanced level. And for those power users, they typically want full control. They want things like advanced data analysis and the ability to integrate with their own systems. And that's where our APIs come in. So the B2CORE API is available for users or customers who want to kind of further automate reporting and performance tracking, for example, without needing to log in manually. So they can integrate their data into third-party BI tools like Tableau or Power BI. that it really just helps them really get to know the data there. And then with the advanced analytics, we of course provide our own view as well. So IBs typically want to know, where are my best traders coming from, what's converting well, what instruments are actually driving volume. And so directly from within our personal cabinet, IBs can get those answers immediately as well. And so with this level of visibilities, IBs can fine tune the marketing, double down, I suppose, on those high converting channels and scale faster because they're able to make data driven decisions. So these tools, they don't just make IBs happy, they make them better marketers, more engaged partners, and stronger long-term assets for you as well. So I suppose the big takeaway here is that B2Core doesn't just help you attract IBs, it helps you empower them. And when your IBs are equipped to perform at their best, they'll grow the network, increase trading volume, and stick with your brokerage for the long run. And when your IBs succeed, you succeed. Win-win. So onto the case study then. So this is really like a story, I suppose, a success story of a customer who migrated to B2Core. And before they migrated, things weren't really going to plan for them. They had a network of IBs. They had ambitions, but they were hitting roadblocks at every turn. So whilst the brokerage had some systems in place, a lot of the commission tracking was still being handled manually. Their back office team spending hours cross-checking trades, calculating payouts, and actually just dealing with errors. So not only was that time consuming, and let's face it, time is money, it was also leading to mistakes and payment disputes as well. Now, because so much of that process lacked automation, payouts were slow. IBs were waiting days or even weeks sometimes, we were told, to receive the commissions. There was no visibility for them, or limited visibility for the IBs on their own metrics. And more importantly, the system that they were using didn't allow the IBs to build out their own networks. They were using a system with a flat kind of tier structure. So there was no way to manage or recruit or grow their actual IB network. So even the best performing IBs in the system just hit a ceiling quite quickly, which the result for them there was that they were losing valuable partners, struggling with errors, and missing out on these massive growth opportunities that could come. So realizing that they couldn't continue or scale with their current setup, the brokerage made the switch to B2Core, and it completely transformed their program. So everything I've spoken about came into play. So the automatic commission calculations meant that there were no errors or disputes. Every referral, trade, and commission was tracked automatically in real time. They got the instant payouts, so you had happy IBs. The real-time dashboards enabled them to see everything that was happening and build loyalty and accountability. And the multi-tier support, of course, really unlocked the ability for the IBs to build out their own networks. So sub-IB structures were enabled with this broker, which meant that their network could grow organically and scale far beyond what was previously possible. But the feedback we got from the broker was the seamless integration. So everything from the CRM to the trading platforms to the back office was now fully integrated, which meant, importantly, there was no data gaps, no duplication, and no more manual reconciliation needed for the partner. So with B2Core, they turned their IB program into like a high performance growth engine. It became automated and aligned with the needs of their IB partners. And that's what's possible really when you give your IB network the tools they need, not just to earn, but to grow.
That's a very interesting case study, Morgan. Could you share more details on the length of B2CORE's impact?
Yeah, sure. And I've got some metrics on the next slide as well. We concentrated on the first 3 months. of the implementation. And but what's exciting is the ongoing growth, and we're still working with this broker as well. And because the system is automated and scalable, that momentum doesn't really slow down. The broker is continuing to attract new IBs and building the sub networks. And they've not really needed to expand their back office team to deal with that growth as well. So the initial transformation happened really quickly, but the value has kept compounding over time. So if I just jump to the next slide, look, what we saw was this 120% increase in the IB network in the first 3 months. So that grew from 50 to 110, and then grew to over 250 in 6 months. And we saw like that 75% increase in trading volume from the IB referred clients, and I think that was partly down to the data that we were able to provide the IBs. It encouraged them to work harder with their network as well. And importantly, like a 90% reduction in that admin workload. So that back office team went from spending hours in spreadsheets to having everything pretty much automated, which was super important for that brokerage. And of course, loyalty increased, churn went down. So the brokerage kept the top partners and attracted new ones. So for me, and I guess for you, the case study proves that the right IB technology doesn't just support growth, it can unlock it. So by implementing B2Core, brokers are able to kind of effortlessly scale their IB network. They can give the IBs the experience that they expect. We have all the ability to kind of create whatever kind of commission structure, however simple or complex you want to make that. And that actually, all of this combined helps free your internal team to focus on growth of the brokerage. So I think the bottom line really is that B2Core takes IB management from being a headache to a high performing, scalable revenue engine for your brokerage.
Definitely, the results are evident. Well, with the market growing constantly, evolving with regulatory challenges, changes, new platforms, what does set B2Core apart?
Yeah, cool. I've wanted to touch on this as well, and talk about why B2Core stands out, not just as a product, but as a long-term growth for your brokerage as well. You touched upon it there. The fintech space moves really quickly. Regulation changes, new platforms emerge, trader behavior evolves. We haven't really started to see, for example, how AI is going to change things in the trading world yet. So if your CRM and back office can't keep up, it's going to become a bottleneck instead of a growth driver, and that's why B2Core is really different. So just as an example, behind just B2Core, let alone B2Broker, we have 70 professionals working day in, day out on the actual product with a single mission, which is to make sure that B2Core stays ahead of the market. We're constantly updating the platform with regular releases, and it's not just about releasing new features. It's about building a product that evolves with you as well. So, for example, we support like hundreds of third-party integrations, whether that's KYC platforms, payment providers, trading platforms. There's so much that we offer within B2Core, and that means that you're not locked into some rigid ecosystem. You can choose the partners and tools that make sense for your business, and B2Core will support them. And because we've kind of built this into our architecture and ability to scale, add a new functionality, just improves the way that the system works. It doesn't break it. And today we're powering over like I think it's like 180 different brokers and fintech platforms. It says there 180. And that's millions of end users who rely on our infrastructure every day, and that's something that we take that responsibility seriously. Things like uptime and reliability and performance are non-negotiables for us, which is why we've migrated our our whole architecture to AWS over the last year. So when you choose B2Core, you're not just buying software. Uh, and I want to just uh, make sure that it's understood. You're joining an ecosystem that's constantly improving and actively supporting you and built to scale with your business. And I think this slide sums up quite nicely everything that we can provide a brokerage beyond just B2Core and IB as well. So that actually brings us to the end of today's session. So look, thanks for joining, everyone. If there's one key takeaway, I'd say that building a successful IB program doesn't have to be complex or resource heavy. With the right infrastructure in place, like B2Core, you can automate the heavy lifting. You can support your IBs properly and unlock scalable, sustainable growth. So whether you're starting out or ready to take your IB network to the next level, we can give you the tools and reliability to get you there. So if you'd like a personalized walkthrough or want to discuss a specific setup, just reach out. We're always happy to help. So look, thanks again for your time, and we look forward to helping you grow. So I guess, Nicole, we can pop over to any questions.
Yes, thank you, Morgan. Actually, we have a question here that Tyler is asking if the PowerPoint will be available post-webinar. Yes, we will send it over in our follow-up email where you'll be able to actually access the webinar and the presentation. Now, some other questions we have here. How long does it take to set up the IB module if we're an existing brokerage?
Yeah, great question. So if you've already got an existing brokerage setup, integration can be completed in as little as 3 business days, and assuming your configuration checklist is ready. So yeah, three business days is what we can feasibly do.
Right. Can we migrate data from our current CRM into B2Core?
Yeah, absolutely. We can support a full data migration, including like client profiles, balances, trading accounts, and even the IB trees as well. Our team can help ensure that smooth transition without data loss as well. And yeah, that's something we see a lot of.
That's great. Another question we have here is how many IBs can the system support?
Yeah, as I said in the demo, like we in the presentation, we support an unlimited kind of structure. So there's no limit really. So whether it's 10 or 10,000, the system can handle it seamlessly. So some of our largest IB networks, for example, they have thousands of active partners and tens of thousands of active traders. Which then has millions upon millions of transactions flowing through. So yeah, look, it can support a large number.
It can handle a lot.
Yeah.
We have another one here. What is the pricing model for IB? Do you charge per IB or based on volume?
Yeah, good question. So and unlike some of our competitors, B2Core doesn't price based on user volumes or trading volume for IB. We feel that actually penalizes brokers who are trying to grow. So instead, we offer a modular pricing based on the functionality and features that you need, and we can go into that in more detail. If you want to kind of talk about that with us, then again, just reach out.
Great. Moving on to the next one. What are some of the largest IB network that you support?
Oh, sorry, I touched upon that in one of the previous questions. So the largest one that I've looked at, they've got let's say thousands of active partners running across many different IB programs that they've set up in there. So they've actually got hundreds of different IB programs running with different reward structures. And then those thousands of active partners, they have tens of thousands of active traders as well. To go into the detail, you might have one IB with yeah, well, yes, say thousands. It's huge. I can't go into too much detail on that, but yeah.
Morgan, are there any other things you'd like to cover?
Yeah, there's a question. Is it possible to structure the product's visibility based upon the IB profile? I'm going to say yes. To that, it's from Nivea. To get into more detail on that, I'd say again, let's have a conversation, set up a call to discuss your needs there as well.
I think we've covered our questions for today. Thank you for your time. It was great having you here, and thank you for joining us.